Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here. With 8.3 PTR winding down and the holidays coming soon, I wanted to take some time and talk about what I'm doing for 8.3 prep-wise and what you should also consider doing. Now, some of these are a bit more important than others if you want to be ahead of the progression curve. Some of them can make you, or technically save you, a lot of gold, and some of them get you a head start on new cosmetic rewards coming in 8.3. Now, if you guys think I missed anything important prep-wise or have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. I will also place a link to my Twitch in the description where you can follow me if you're interested in watching 8.3 live or keeping track of my mythic progress for the tier. Now in 8.3 we were introduced to two new reputations, the Rajani and Oldham Accord. These factions bring with them cosmetic rewards and certain items that you can use to progress further into the 8.3 storyline. It is important, however, to not forget about the current reputations that we have access to in 8.2 and what they bring to the table once 8.3 actually goes live. In 8.1, we were able to technically store up to 3 Paragon caches with each faction, having one from, say, the Zandalari Empire in your bank, and then having 2 essentially stored by being 19,999 reputation out of 20,000. This ensured that you essentially receive 7,500 AP from each faction the day the patch hit upon turn-in. In 8.2, however, Blizzard removed the AP from the actual chest on use and attached it to the Paragon Quest turn-in, thus removing the option of having 3 Paragon chests with each faction. We do, however, still have the option of storing 2 with current BFA factions in 8.2.5 heading into 8.3, however. The add-on Paragon Reputation modifies your rep panels, showing you your current progress towards 20,000, which is the rep required for double Paragons. The important thing to remember here is that you don't want to turn in the actual Paragon quest until 8.3 goes live, or you will lose out on 2,500 AP. From now until January 7th, we have the WoW 15th Anniversary bonus rep active, which means it's pretty easy to farm rep at this point. Having a contract active for a rep like Champions of Azeroth, or one of the tougher ones to grind out, is another step you can take to push double Paragons even faster. At this point, when it comes to the Mechagon rep, Rust Bolt Resistance, you can simply complete the large daily Mechagon quest that rewards 800 or so rep every day, thus making that miserable grind much easier. You will also want to hold your Sunday and Monday daily caches for turn-in on Tuesday once the patch goes live, regardless of them rewarding AP, items, gold, or resources. Each daily emissary rewards 600 AP baseline upon completion, in addition to whatever major reward it brings with it. Factoring in your 3-day emissary chest with the 16 Paragon chests you should have stored up, we're looking at around 45,000 AP the second the patch goes live. Your Paragon caches will also bring with them 4 to 5k gold and 500 resources on turn-in for each individual one. This should total roughly 80,000 gold and about 8,000 or so war resources if you're double stacked with each reputation. Seeing as how we will be using the mission table much more frequently once 8.3 hits, the resources here are a welcome bonus. Speaking of the follower mission table, it's once again going to be relevant in 8.3, even if it's only for the first few weeks. Now is a great time to boost all your followers to max level, as well as pick up some equipment for them if you have not already. In BFA, follower equipment is mostly obtained by crafters or the actual auction house. Keep in mind, however, that these items do require expulsum to craft, so they can be pretty pricey. Storm Silver Spurs and Amber Rallying Horn are the 2 items I would look into buying before the 8.3 rush hits. The items that have a small chance to return cloth, gems, or other materials are pretty worthless, as when they actually do bring the items back, it's a very minuscule amount. Even the artifact power equipment only grants 25 AP upon completion, so the reduced mission duration is much more important in my opinion. You can, however, purchase the whetstone from the honor-bound vendor for war resources that grants a stacking mission success chance. All of my current followers have this, as it's much easier to obtain and does not cost a substantial amount of gold. If you're looking to make a bit of easy gold while progressing through your follower table, the Augment Rune missions are amazing for doing just that. It was recently announced that we are indeed receiving a permanent Augment Rune in 8.3 for the price of 50,000 gold. However, it requires Exalted with the Rajani rep, which is one of the new 8.3 reputations, that's gained via assault completion and dailies. Now, depending on how much time that there is between the patch launch and Ny'alotha actually opening, there might not be enough time to grind to Exalted, which means guilds and players looking to progress quickly will be after consumable Augment Runes. They're currently sitting right around 450 gold or so on my server, and I bring in anywhere from 8 to 20 or so a day with 5 characters. I would say at this point it's most likely best to sell if they're at a decent price on your server, as if we have a month or so between 8.3's launch and Ny'alotha actually opening, they will almost certainly plummet in value. Another quick way to bring in a solid chunk of gold before 8.3 hits is by getting your character's neck level to max, which is 70. Doing so turns all AP missions on the follower table as well as emissaries into gold missions or rewards. If you have multiple characters at 70, one day's worth of emissaries can equal a quick 10 to 15k gold. Doing so will also make the AP grind much less of a headache in 8.3 if you aren't still trying to grind from level 68 or so on your neck once the patch hits. From what we've seen on PTR, there are no new crafting materials needed for creating mythic level gear from any of the crafting professions. While most cloth and leather should not be too expensive, I would say that now is a great time to start stocking up on both Azerite and Sage Agate, which are gems required for the jewel crafting rings. Rings are always highly sought after, seeing as how they no longer have primary stats on them, and each class wants to. Being able to craft one with the right secondary stats for your spec very early into progression is massive. The fact that it also brings a socket is huge as well, seeing as how strong gems have been all of BFA. The 8.3 crafting patterns will also still require Expulsum, so be sure to have a stockpile ready for crafting once 8.3 hits. Remember that crafting gear does indeed refund a certain amount of Expulsum if scrapped, but it does not refund if disenchanted. I believe this is still a bug from 8.1, but I'm not certain, so be sure to scrap them down to be safe. Now, while we're spending a good deal of our time prepping Paragon caches or getting caught up on rep/AP in general, the downtime before 8.3 hits is a great chance to also get caught up on essences for your alts. While every single player with an active sub wants them to go account-wide, it seems just not going to be the case. The requirements for many essences are being reduced in 8.3 as well. The Mechagon-specific essences, which are gated behind Exalted Rep, are being lowered to Revered, and having the amount of raw materials required for purchase cut in half in 8.3. They are also reducing the amount of follower experience required for Lucid Dreams Rank 3 from 6k to 4800. Now, if you aren't in dire need of any of these essences currently, you can simply grind to Revered and or 4800, then stop until the patch hits. There has still been no word on the Faded Vision and Perfections materials being reduced, or of an alternate method to obtain Condensed Life Force once Eternal Palace becomes irrelevant, but I expect and hope that there is one soon. In 8.3, Blizzard is implementing a new island-specific vendor and systems to spend Seafarer's doubloons. Previously, mounts, pets, and transmog were tied to specific island themes that would rotate weekly. In 8.3, however, you will be able to spend 175 doubloons to purchase a salvage crate specific to whatever theme you choose. These crates can indeed contain the mounts, pets, and transmog that have been eluding you all of BFA. This will most likely reduce the value of current transmog items as well, so I would recommend selling those as soon as possible. It's also important to remember to do your islands the week before 8.3 hits, but be sure to actually save the treasure map and use it the week of 8.3 for a few reasons. The map gives differing mission rewards from gold or transmog to actual AP and Residium. Seeing as how your most likely max neck level and Residium is getting reset come 8.3, saving it for that Tuesday is your best option. You will still be able to do your islands the week of 8.3 as well, double dipping with 2 actual treasure map missions in a sense. You could technically send the mission out the night before 8.3 hits, but if it is a Residium mission, I'm not sure if or how it will convert over to 8.3, so do so at your own risk. If you have not yet obtained your rank 3 or rank 4 Worldband residence from islands, now is also a great time to get working on that. Rank 3 requires 3 weeks of island completion, while rank 4 is a random reward from a treasure map. Now, looking forward to 8.3's raid, Ny'alotha, and prepping gear-wise, it is important to keep in mind that benthic gear will not function in Ny'alotha or new content. While it is still the strongest choice we pretty much have currently in Eternal Palace at the moment, be on the lookout for certain pieces of gear to replace those 3 to 4 benthic slots you're most likely wearing at this point. If you're currently farming Eternal Palace weekly, these should be pretty easy to obtain, but also be sure to keep this in mind as well when you're opening your weekly Mythic Plus chest of disappointment before you vendor or scrap its loot. Remember that in 8.3 Residium pools are being reset as well, so there really is no reason to be holding on to any before it hits. If you're still in need of that one specific helm for its unique trait combination when initial prog comes around, now is a good time to start really trying to obtain it. 200k for a specific piece is a pretty large amount of Residium, but if you have a decent bit stored up already, it's not technically out of range. Even gambling the 47,500 every other week gives you a good chance at pulling the piece you want. Also keep in mind that in 8.3, the weekly chest rewards loot that scales up in eye level to completing a 15 key. Keys will be more difficult once the season starts, and Blizzard is also increasing their baseline health/damage modifiers as well this season. Your best bet would be to complete the highest key you possibly can the week before 8.3 hits, maybe somewhere around the 19 or 20 level range, to get the highest key possible from your cache on launch week. We are also seeing the return of the 20% damage buff when failing to time a key, so it should, hopefully, not be that much of a chore the first few weeks. If you're also looking to maximize your chance at loot from Ny'alotha the first week or two, be sure to leave the week before Ny'alotha opens with 5 bonus roll coins. Doing so means you will have access to 7 the week of raid launch. All you then have to do is go in with 5 coins, spend 2, and then buy your 2 for the week. Depending on your guild's progress, you might be looking to spend a few more than 2 in the first week, so be sure to know what bosses are best for you.
Holy cow, dude.
One thing's for sure, and that is that 8.3 and Ny'alotha really look amazing. I have thoroughly enjoyed testing the raid and most of 8.3's features on stream over the past 2 months and cannot wait for it to actually be here. I hope this 8.3 prep video gave you a much better understanding of what you can and should be doing to be optimized for 8.3's launch. Let me know what your plans for 8.3 are, and if you think I missed anything important, leave it in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get back to you. If you guys want to join me on stream for 8.3's launch or any of our Mythic progress, I'll place a link to my Twitch and Discord in the description below. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more WoW content, be sure to smash the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks again guys, and I'll see you all on stream. Peace.